Welcome to a video on connecting React to external services. After watching this video, you will be able to define external services, describe how third-party services retrieve data using the Fetch API method and Axios library. External services are third-party platforms, applications, or systems that your application connects to over a network. These services are typically hosted outside your app's environment and provide additional features, tools, or data that your application may need. They allow your app to interact with external resources or services through APIs, application programming interfaces, enabling data exchange, feature integration, or service execution. Application programming interfaces, or APIs, let your application talk to and exchange data with outside services. Third-party services offer them. APIs enable you to acquire data, execute operations, or add extra features to your application. Third-party services provide data you can retrieve using multiple API methods, such as Fetch API method and Axios library. Let us understand fetching data using API with the help of an example. In the code, a constant variable, API URL, is used to store the URL of the outside API from JSON placeholder, API, which is used to create fake JSON data for testing and development. Then, the fetch method sends a GET request to the given URL, API URL. This starts the process of getting info from the outside API. You connect the then method to the fetch call. This method takes a callback function as an argument and runs it when the fetch action is successful. It also takes an argument for the response object. You use the callback function to call the answer object's JSON method. This method takes the answer body as JSON and gives you a promise to work with the JSON data. You add another then method to deal with the JSON data that was read in the last step. This method takes a callback function as an argument. The callback function runs when the JSON parsing is complete, and the parsed JSON data is given as an argument. In the callback function, you write the info to the console. You add a catch method to the chain to deal with errors during the fetch process. As an argument, this method takes a callback function that runs if there is an error. You log the error to the console inside the callback code so that you can use the error messages to help with debugging. Overall, this code shows how to use the fetch function to make a simple GET request to an external API, handle the return data, and properly handle any errors that may happen during the fetch operation. The output of the API fetch method code is as shown. Axios is a popular JavaScript library for HTTP requests from web browsers. Let us see an example of Axios that shows how it works and differs from the Fetch API method. To use Axios, you first need to install using npm install Axios. Then, you need to import it using import Axios from Axios. Next, use the axios.get method to make a GET request to the specified URL, API URL. Axios automatically handles the creation and execution of the HTTP request. In this code, Axios offers additional features such as automatic JSON parsing. Therefore, there is no need to call response.json separately as you did with the Fetch API method. You chain a .then method to handle the response from the API. The response object is passed to the callback function when the request is successful. You access the response data using response.data and log it to the console. You add a catch method to the chain to deal with errors during the fetch process. This code generates the same output, but less is executed. In this video, you learn that external services are third-party platforms, applications, or systems that your application connects to over a network. APIs enable you to acquire data, execute operations, or add extra features to your application. Third-party services provide data you can retrieve using multiple API methods, such as Fetch API method and Axios library.